Hey guys, how you going? Derby here. I've noticed that there are a lot of people who actually have requested a fate farming video. So I've decided, do you know what? I'm gonna go make a lovely full-on fate farming guide. Now, fate farming is the most effective way for anybody to level their secondary classes from 1 to 50. Forget about dungeons, forget about doing your leaves, forget about doing any of your guild hests. It is all down to the fate farming, and fate farming is the most fastest way. If you are effective and efficient enough with your fate farming, you can easily go from level 1 to 50 in approximately 4 to 5 days, depending on how long you are actually playing for. And in this video, I'm going to be covering the basics of fate farming, the locations of where to go at what certain levels, and then I'm going to start talking about more advanced tricks and tips that will help you maximize the amount of experience you gain per hour when fate farming. Now, the first thing you must do when fate farming is to find yourself a group. This is because another party member's contribution towards a fate also gives you the contribution. So there'll be many times where I've been late to a fate, and the fate is pretty much almost done, but I've got gold. This is because all my other party members are already participating in this fate, and I've been rewarded for it. And you can tell because as you get closer to the fate, you're getting XP rewards, or you're actually getting item rewards. Now, there are two ways to get yourself a group. The first way is by going into shout and shouting looking for party or looking for fate group. And eventually you will get an invite from somebody, and if you don't get an invite from somebody after about 20 seconds, then give shout another message saying LFG fate farm or something along those lines. Still, if no one gives you an invite after your second message, then you know that most party groups are full and you must create your own one. To do this, you quite literally go back to shout and you say LFM, which is looking for man, fate party group /tell for invite, and eventually people will start giving you tells, and you right click their names and then you give them an invite to join your party. So now, where do I actually go and start leveling? Well, from level 1 to 12 you'll want to go to Western Thanalan, Horizon, and there you will want to be situated in this middle bridge area, which is basically the middle of the map, so you can easily access all the fates that are spawning. Every other place you'll want to be near the Aetheryte. So from level 13 to around about level 20 you'll want to be in Aleport, which is Western Lanoskia, and you'll want to be situated near the Aleport Aetheryte. From level 21 to 30 you'll want to be in Quarry Mill, which is the South Shroud, and every single time a fate ends you'll want to go back to the Quarry Mill Aetheryte. If you feel like level 30 is too much for you at Quarry Mill, you can leave there level 28 and you want to go to Costa del Sol, which is in Eastern Lanoskia, again situated next to the Aetheryte. Now, this area here, Costa del Sol, is where you will start getting a lot of experience. At certain levels, once you hit around about level 34, you will be getting around 10k per fate, which is a tremendous amount of XP. Now, I'd recommend going to Camp Dragonhead once you reach around level 36. Now, the Central Coerthas Highlands is noted for two very large and rewarding fates. The first one is the Savara Fate Chain, where you go up and eventually fight Savara, who is a dragon. This entire fate chain can grant you a grand total of around 40 to 50k experience depending on your level. And then the second fate is the Eye's Habit, which is another 25,000 experience award. Now, these experience numbers are inflated due to the Armory Bonus that you get if you already have a character level 50. If you do not have a character level 50, of course the experience will be much lower. From level 36 onwards, you'll want to stay here until you reach around level 42, and then from level 42, you'll then want to go to the Cerulean Processing Plant, which is in Northern Thanalan. The Cerulean Processing Plant is by far the best XP in this entire game, better than Mordona, quite simply because of a fate known as Dark Devices, where you can earn up to 300k XP from it if you know how to do it correctly. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about maximizing your experience in the XIV region. So you may notice that sometimes there are multiple fates that spawn at once, especially during the Savara fate chain. It is actually possible to go to all those areas, well, some of those areas, the ones that give you the most experience, and actually maximize out your experience. This is because the Savara fate chain works in 3 phases. The first phase is rather simple. You just go up and kill hordes and hordes of monsters. This fate takes approximately 5 minutes of your time and only rewards you about 9k experience, obviously depending on your levels. The second fate in the chain, however, takes much longer. It in fact takes around 5 minutes to complete, and in that time you could easily wander off to another fate such as Rock, Bellyful, or Fire and Distance like in this example, and actually go and get the reward. Alternatively, depending on the spawn times of the fates, you could leave the first fate halfway through, ensuring that you have done enough in the fates to get yourself a gold reward, and then go off to the other fates, complete them. The second fate in the Savara chain still wouldn't even have been completed, so therefore it is possible to go and jump back and forth between fates and still get a gold. And as you can see in this clip, I am now all the way near the Fire and Distance fate. However, I still managed to get a gold on the Savara chain fate. It doesn't matter if you are away from the fate, as long as you have participated in the fate, you can now spread off and do whatever you want, and once that fate completes, you will still get rewarded for the XP. And the same can apply to this fate as well. As you're about to see, I'm about to leave this Fire and Distance fate just before it's completed to run back to the second fate in the Savara chain, and I'm still going to get rewarded for this fate. So you can do this tactic to maximize out your experience as much as you can, and it is important to note that you should always run back and do Bellyful, Rock, and Fire and Distance whilst the Savara chain fate is still active. There are also fates in this game which I like to call collection fates. You have to go and basically collect a certain amount of items. You can either kill the fate monsters to get these items, or you can collect them off the ground. Now a lot of people I've noticed stay there and collect about 10, 20 of these items to try and reach gold, and that is just absolutely out of order. You only need 6 items to get yourself gold, and that is it. So after you've got that 6, you want to hand it in, and then after that you're done with the fate. You can now move on to another fate, or alternatively you can now teleport. Teleporting is another way that you can actually get away from a fate in order to get to another fate. For example, I left this fate and I teleported, and now I've gone all the way to Rock, and as you can see, whilst I'm fighting Rock, I got the experience reward for the fate that I was just at, even though I just teleported. This fate I'm showing you right now is called the Eyes Have It. Now this is the second most valuable fate in the entire XIV region. It gives just a tiny bit less XP, I believe, than Savara herself, and the fight only takes about 10 minutes to complete, with a reasonably large enough amount of people actually doing the fate. If you see this fate anywhere, you will want to make sure that you go to this fate, because this fate here gives you the big XP, and you want the big XP from here. Just like before with Savara, you can then halfway through the kill go to another fate. So for example, if Rock spawns, you go over to Rock, kill Rock, then you can run back over here and you can get gold for both of the rewards. Now one thing I must say about this fate is that you must watch out for his abilities. His abilities have a very large AoE radius, and they can kill everybody who is within melee range, so just make sure you are as far away as possible. So hope you guys have found this video enjoyable. There are a few more tips of course, but you'll eventually start finding them out as you start fake farming more and more. So thank you for watching guys, and I'll see you guys later.